Hi, I'm Marie Younger Blackburn, and this is Driven Women TV. I'm so excited to be back. We're here for the first show of our new season. We're going to be interviewing and having a candid conversation today with Kristen Alexander. And Kristen is a coach, and she is the CEO of Complete Balance by KMA. She is also a wellness advocate and lifestyle coach. So we're just going to relax and enjoy and celebrate. And what we celebrate here on Driven Women TV are women. The purpose of Driven Women TV is to elevate women, to showcase who they are, women in business and other personal interest. We are keeping the mission and the vision of Driven, Cape Cod's Conference for Women, alive. The mission of Cape Cod's Conference for Women has always been to bring women under one roof and to share useful, relevant information so that they can go out and be the change in their own community. And that brings me to my guest, Kristen.
Yay. Hi.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah.
Yay,
I'm
Happy
so
New
glad.
Year.
Yeah. So I just want to let the audience know a little about who you are. Kristen is a part of a very entrepreneurial family here on Cape Cod. Her mother is the owner of Laura's Kitchen. Her aunt is Kim at Marsland's 2, the owner of that restaurant. Her cousin is Nicole Spencer, and she's with Heroes in Transition and also with the Falmouth Road Race. So she comes from a little bit of...
We like to do stuff.
Yeah, they're driven women, right? Very, very driven women. So I'm just happy to have met Kristen on her journey to help people with their goals, particularly around health and wellness and weight loss.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to let you share a little bit about, let's see, she has so many components.
I know, where do you want to start?
Yeah, that are really interesting. So let's start at the beginning. How about that?
All right,
We'll start at the beginning. And as far as the beginning for me in our relationship was when on social media, I love, Facebook, and I was looking at Facebook, and I saw this woman, and she was going through a very private and personal, publicly personal journey with knee surgery. That's when you were brought to my attention, and I was like, wow. You know that book, You Are Badass? Yeah.
Read it.
I was like, she's pretty badass, man. She was going through double knee surgery.
I had double knee replacements.
Yeah, double knee replacement. Yeah. And she chronicled this journey, and, people have it, and they're like, pain. And she's like, pretty badass. And I know you had some history with gastric bypass. So can you just share with our audience your journey with your personal struggles with weight loss and how you are now using that to help others?
Absolutely. Thank you. So yes, for most of my adult life, after I had my children, I think at my highest was right around 260 pounds. And I pretty much stayed there.
And how tall are you?
5 feet.
Okay.
I'm like this tall.
So 5 feet and 260 pounds, that's pretty significant.
Yep.
Yes.
So it was, you focus on your kids and, the way society is, you don't really put yourself first because you're a good mom if you put everybody else first, right? So that's what I did. And then it got to the point where I just started to get scared. I was watching my dad's health deteriorate and I got scared. And I was like, I have to do something. And that's when I made the choice. I chose powerfully to have gastric bypass. I had tried everything, You know, now, of course, you can't go back and change anything, and I wouldn't change anything, you know, but now I know where I was stuck. I was stuck in my mindset that I couldn't do it. And, you know, going through that journey has really opened my eyes to so many things, you know, so many things that, you know, we feel as women, as you say, you know, we get so disempowered. And you go through, when you go through weight loss surgery, you have all these feelings of that I couldn't do it by myself. I'm a failure. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? You know, and I kept that to myself for a long time.
Sure.
And it wasn't until I really, you know, after I hit my goal, and I've actually, next month will be 12 years since I had my gastric bypass. And
Bravo.
for the most part, thank you, I've kept off most of my weight. A year and a half ago, I had double knee replacements. And, you know, since then, I'm not going to lie, I've, you know, it's creeping up a little bit because my lifestyle has changed a little bit, but, you know, I'm working on it. And, you know, when I was, after maintaining the weight and being out there, people just started to naturally ask me about, you know, what I was doing and how I was doing that. And then I'm like, you know what? I just want to do this more. I want to do this forever and ever and on another level. And that's when I was like, there's my calling, you know, and I did that. So then I made it my life's work. To just empower people.
And, you know, I can so relate to your journey. You know, it's not my journey, but I can relate to your journey. I had a very public weight loss here in town with a local doctor and a team, and lost a significant amount of weight over time, and now have put it back on. And I know what it is to have your quality of life affected by that, and the desperation you feel to do something, you know. So I know there are people out there who are watching us who are contemplating gastric bypass surgery. We're not here to advocate anything, but you know, there's options, healthy eating. So I know as a coach, you probably work people through those questions and how to do what's best for them, correct?
Absolutely. And everybody's in a different place. You know, it depends on, you know, where you are in your mindset, where you are in your journey, and, you know, really like what your goals are. And it's certainly not it's not the easy way out. It's not a quick fix, you know. Did it give me an extra tool that I needed? Absolutely. And probably for me, the first maybe 40 to 50 pounds was effortless. After that, like, you work. I do the same work as the person next to me that didn't have the surgery. You know, I literally had to change my lifestyle and make it a mission. And, you know, weight loss surgery might be a tool, but it certainly is not a tool for maintenance.
Right.
There is no maintenance control in weight loss surgery. So that's all you.
Yeah. So we need that extra coaching and that extra encouragement, you know, and accountability. So right now I'm finally at the point where I'm making a switch and going back. And I know what helps me is that desperation. First of all, it's like, got to do something now. And I want my quality of life. I want to be able to continue to elevate women and do my life's work as well. So I'm finally at the point where I, too, am making those transitions. You know, not bypass surgery, but, you know, some other things, and adding some exercise and things. And I need that cheering, that coaching, that accountability, you know, and I too appreciate that. Let's see, you have a team of people that you work with around your coaching. I know you work in a leadership capacity and encourage other women. You work together to encourage other people as well.
Yep. I have a team that I lead, and we all work together. And we all just look at, you know, we empower each other and just look at ways that we can better help other people, you know, and they do the same thing I do, you know, and I just get to lead them and watch them grow. And it is one of the most fulfilling things that I've ever taken on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I know women, often when you're caretakers, you take care of your family, you're working women in the workforce, and you know, they're just so talented and multidimensional. They don't have time for themselves, a lot of time. So I know you've created another component of your business where you make healthy meals for people who are busy. And you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I took that on. I love social media. Anybody that knows me, and it became, I wanted to share more. So, I started to go live with meal prep stuff, and, meal prep is my jam. I love that. And I know that that's a huge component of setting yourself up successfully to get through that week, that crazy week.
Definitely.
And I was like, okay, people just started to know me for that. And I'm like, okay, how can I help more people with that? And I talked to my mom, and, who Laura's home cooking. And, I have her space, and I get to do it out of there. And I'm like, this is a way that I can help simplify mealtime for families, for single people, I have, busy women, busy men, doesn't matter, but it's clean food, it's portioned, it's healthy. And, it's been great. And it's another way for me to serve.
Yeah. And
people.
I saw it on social media, I've seen your presentation, and it just looks so delicious. And very well done. Looks like a lot of work just looking at it. But I mean, I'm a chef by profession, so I get it, the cooking and the nutrition piece. But even someone like me who knows how to cook, who knows what to cook, it's still the time in the preparation, often eludes me. So I know that's a very helpful tool. So some of your training that you've gotten over the years to be able to share and do what you do. I know we both belong to a coaching kind of company called Landmark. You've gone a lot further than I have in that. I kind of took one of the, what are they called, sessions or what have you. And
courses,
and I enjoyed it. I just, didn't continue, but I know you're well advanced in that coaching. Want to talk a little bit about what that's brought to your game?
Yeah, it actually it exploded my game, is what it did. And it's a place that you learn, you get to really have breakthroughs in what's holding you back. And then I was like, just breakthrough after breakthrough. And and what I do with coaching people and communicating with people, just you got to be able to communicate effectively. So I just kept moving forward with whatever was being offered. And then I joined a leadership program that they have. It's called the Team Management and Leadership Program. And it's where you really get your leadership. You really get who you are. It's what you're out to create. And, you just get to get out of your way. And once I did that, like, the level of my game just blew up. And that's when my coaching blew up. I just took chances that I was always afraid to take, stuff that I always used to, like the meal prep. Like I would, the prepared meals, I'd always be like, oh, that would be a wicked good idea. Like that's what it would be.
Yeah.
And I just took my ideas and just said, I can do that. Why can't I do that?
Right.
So that has really been able to grow my leadership and be able to empower others in that. So it's been great.
My work with Driven is same, kind of thing. It's like I want to create a conference. And then how do you get from the idea to the inception? So it's like, okay, pick a date, do some action steps to move. And that's where I'm at now. I'm resetting, rebuilding. And this March, we are going to take it down a little bit in order to go higher still. And we're going to do a one-day retreat on March 3rd. And it's driven with vision. So we're going to take a look at what is your vision for your financial future, what is your vision for your health, what is your vision for your business. And we're going to create some vision boards around that. We're going to have some movement, just a very kind of chill day where women come together and collaborate and connect. So we're working on that now. And that even took courage to say, okay, I need to take it down in order to bring it up. That took great courage on my behalf, but I can never do it alone. So I want to talk about coaching, right? In my work, being the visionary for Cape Cod's Conference for Women, I get contacted by coaches of every kind, right? So everybody's a coach right now. There's, business coaches, wellness coaches, business and wellness coaches, lifestyle coaches. Everybody's encouraging each other. And I just wanted to talk about that because at first I was skeptical and like, she's a coach, And then I said, wow, there's some really, it's a useful tool. So I really wanted to affirm what you do, in that there are people out there who are stuck. And I think, just like a coach of a basketball team or a coach of a football team, Belichick, one of the best coaches known, right? He has a system, and it has a way of motivating people. And I just want you to address that. How you would define coach, right? And what a coach brings to the table. And again, I think they're very useful. And I would recommend, if I can, that people who can find someone to coach them and to find that accountability.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a loaded question, right?
Yeah.
So really, what I do, and this is what I've learned over the years of coaching, is people need to be empowered to really create their life, because they don't think they can, and they're stuck. And it really, if it's somebody that is stuck with their weight or their food or whatever, you can give somebody 300 meal plans and buy them a gym membership. But if their mindset isn't balanced and they're not there, it's not going to be long term. So what I bring to the table is literally all encompassing. We're not gonna, we're gonna literally create your life. We're not just gonna talk about the food. You're gonna see what's in your way. And I have a whole structure how I go through. There's like a paper that we sit down and we fill out together, and we dig. There's tears. We dig deep, and it's about getting a connection to your why. And what I do is I take them and, I really bring them, my clients, to that place of, where, if you reach your goal, what does that be? What is your goal? Whether, some people it's a 5K. Really? Okay, cool. So like, what are you wearing? Where are you going to buy it? Who's going to be there waiting for you? You really bring them to that place.
Sure.
And then I also bring them to that place that they don't want to go. And that, what happens if you don't reach your goal? Like, what happens if you don't make changes? And a lot of times it's unpleasant, but that's what gets them grounded in the reality, and that's where we start. Once they have that connection, and I know that they have that connection, that's when we get to really begin to do the work.
Sure.
And sometimes it takes a little more work than that.
And sometimes it's a painful place to be in when you really start uncovering. I remember I did some work around networking, and I became a certified networker, and it was intensive days, like a 3-day intensive 8-hour days where we to network. We really dug deep into our why, and you had to go but why, and I came up with, I just want to live out loud, and it was my tag at the end of the day. It was just who I am, right? And then when I started to do the work and started to adapt some of those principles around that and get that coaching, I saw my life expand, my network of people expand, and who I am in the process, in the game of being a connector and a networker and a referrer of people. And I know in 2019, when we bring Driven back to the Seacrest Beach Resort Hotel, that I want to bring that keynote speaker there to teach other women how to do that, So there's so many kinds of coaching, and I really think it's all effective. I want to talk about some other work that you do. I know, huh? What does she do? She's a driven woman. I mean, what can I say? So you do some work with Heroes in Transition.
Sure do.
We had Cindy Jones on this show, and actually they were our host nonprofit last year, and we brought some attention to their organization and tried to bring some things. And I love their organization. Anything I could do for them, I plan to do more. And I'd like people at home to know they can. We're going to talk about what you do for them. I think it's so neat. Your husband, John Alexander, he's here in the control room. He's here. They go everywhere together. What can I say? You were married 26 years?
Yeah, we just had our 26th.
Yeah, so that's exciting, and he's so cute. So he's here with you, and you do couples retreats.
We do. We actually, we brought, Cindy had a vision, and we both really had the same vision of, bringing the work to the couples as a whole. and it has just grown and grown, and it's really great because our kids are older. You know, our oldest is 25, and we have twins that are 23. So we're on to the second part, and like, now what? You know, so we get to really pay it forward. My husband's a veteran. I'm the spouse of a veteran. You know, we've been there and we've done that. And, you know, how can we give back? And Heroes is just such, I mean, everybody involved in Heroes and all the work they do. And of course, my family, you know, Nicole being part of it.
Your whole family just jumped right in.
It just, you know, and we just, so really just being able to, we hold monthly gatherings, you know, and the couples group is just like a small portion of, you know, what we do, but it's big, you know, it's really big. And we have, you know, we have new couples every month that join us. We've done everything from, we do yoga, we do, you know, John's taken the guys, a couple of the guys, to a Providence Bruins game for the military appreciation night, you know, and it's been amazing. And to be able to give back and connect and have them, you know, empower them to be in a space of, I'm not alone. You know, we can do this, you know.
Amazing.
So just to be able to support, you know, veterans and military families, and, you know, it's so great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And I saw, you know, some pictures from last year's retreat, and it just was so impressive. And I think it was full, right? I mean, your first year, you had a nice crowd of people and couples that you're working with, and also you participate. So first of all, let's give your cousin Nicole a shout out, right?
Yes.
Isn't it her birthday today?
Nicole.
So happy birthday, Nicole. Yeah. So anyway, did she bring Rut for Hit to
her and her husband?
She and her husband.
We
so
did.
Talk about what that is.
Right. So the first year we were part of a beta test group, and we started at Ground Zero in New York City, and we had 2 teams, and I believe there was 12 people on each team and 2 drivers, and we went from Ground Zero to Cape Cod. And we did that in about 41 hours. And what they did is they would do legs, you know, anywhere from 2 to 5 miles a leg with a 30-pound rucksack on their back. And what that was to resemble was the burden that the veterans carry when they come home. I'm going to try not to ugly cry.
Yeah, I love it. I always bring people to tears on. That's a driven magic. Like, people start off talking, next thing you know, they're crying.
Right.
I love it.
So it was to bring awareness, you know, and we did it. And we had some, you know, some military members, some non-military. We had, you know, first responders, police, fire. You know, we had all kinds of people involved with it. And last year, she brought it back to the Cape, and we literally started at the chat room in Bourne right there, and then literally went through all 15 towns on the Cape, got to the memorial at P-Town, ran up the memorial, and ran down, and then ran back. And that took us about 36, 37 hours. And, you know, each team has 7 runners and 2 drivers. Obviously, with my new knees, I'm not willing to take time off my knees, but I am a driver always. My husband he's captain of one of the teams, and yeah, it's one of our, it's our biggest fundraiser. And, you know, that is such a great way for, you know, people to contribute. We get, you know, there's so many volunteers that go into making that happen.
I've seen, and the Community Leadership Institute helped. One of their graduating classes helped last year. I make it my business to kind of know what's going on around Cape. Literally, I just watch, and I really get into everything. The first year I watched the race, and I saw the runners come over the bridge, and they were escorted by like a police, you know, battalion of cars and such. Yeah, they shut the bridge down, and they came over. It was so impressive. Like, you're sitting, I was watching it on social media, and it was just amazing. And then second year I watched you guys. I think, wasn't it the rainiest, stormiest day?
Like, if you've never seen, like, it rained,
Yeah.
Like
the
you
flood,
can't
like,
even really,
like Noah's Ark thing.
Yeah.
And so that's perseverance, that's tenacity, that's saying, I show up. I'm here to show up. And we were talking about that earlier today, about showing up. And I was telling you, just the weight transformation that I've gone through, getting on camera. You know, some people don't show up. And you said to me, well, what choice do you have? And I seem to think people have a choice, right? I mean, I know people have a choice. People isolate and they stay home, or they show up as is and present themselves to the world as is. And that's what I always choose to do, show up. But when you can't show up, I think someone like you, in your coaching team. You may be talking to someone and start coaching over the phone who is isolating and shutting down because of their health situation, their weight, and that's where you can be of an asset to coach someone out of that and help them to show up.
Yeah. They get to, just really to empower them to find their inner strength, and when they do that, and when they have that, that makes me cry, when they have that aha moment.
I love it. The cares are coming. So I did like a little Facebook. They have those algorithms, and it said to me that you're going to cry in 2008, but you're going to cry happy tears of joy because your life's going to be, and I'm like, I'm not a crier. In all my years, people die, people go, and it's not because I don't feel, but so January 1st came, and then my dog died, my puppy, and I cried like a baby. And but it's so free and it's so cathartic to be able to show emotion in that way and cry. So I want to be a crier. So
you want to be hang around with me for a little bit, Marie.
I want to learn. And my dad said my name means strong woman, and you walk into that kind of destiny. And I had to call him last year, and I said, Dad, did you really say that? He said it when I was a kid, right? And then he'd say it again, and he said yes, and don't change. And I'm like, man, what to carry, but in a good way. I don't have to carry in a negative way that says, oh, you have to hold everything, but I can be strong and have vulnerabilities as well. And we as women can do that. So I just want to thank you so much for being vulnerable, for being open, for sharing your journey, sharing what you have to offer people in the quest for wellness. Again, I'm here with my guest, Kristen Alexander of Complete Balance by KMA. And that's her name, Kristen Marie Alexander. All the great people have Marie middle names. So that's what my husband tells me anyway. Everybody in his family's middle name's Marie. Yeah. So anyway, there's contact information that is on the screen, I believe, for Kristen if you want to reach out to her and check out her website, check out what she has to offer. You can do that. Also, keep your eyes on Driven Women TV. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on other forms of social media. Look for our upcoming event on March 3rd. You guys have been calling me. You've been reaching out. You've been saying, I want to come, So I'm taking it down to go higher still. Higher is waiting for all of us. There's so much more that we want to create, we want to do, more money we want to make, more people we want to touch. And I want to be a part of that with you women out there. I want to interview more women and talk about the wonderful things that are going on around Cape Cod and, in and around Cape Cod. So we do talk to women in the surrounding areas. We reach, and we like to keep things local because one of our pieces of our mission was to drive the economy. So as we drive women over the bridge to come to Cape Cod's Conference of Women, they're spending money. They're coming and they're buying our goods and services, and we're proud of that. So we're just going to keep doing what we do. Yeah. And again, I'm glad to have you, Kristen Alexander of Complete Balance by KMA. That's a mouthful. I'm sorry. It is just a little bit of a mouthful, but it's so cool.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
You're allowed to say Complete Balance for short if you want.
Okay, Complete Balance. So Kristen Alexander of Complete Balance. Yeah. And
thank you.
Check her out. And she's going places as she carries others and helps others to be a better version of themselves, Yeah. So again, when I saw you doing your knee surgery on live social media, I was like, wow. I really was, because,
thank you. And it's so important to share. When you share, you never know what impact you're going to have on somebody else. So that's why I shared that. It was uncomfortable. When I was in rehab and I started sharing on live, I was like, I don't want to do this. But I knew it may have an impact on somebody. So.
And we learned from the Queen, right? Oprah. She shared her ups and downs of weight loss, and she still continues to. It's important because there's always someone who relates to what we're going through.
Yeah.
Like you said.
And that's when community, everything I do in my life, I'm surrounded by a community. Yeah. You can't do it by yourself.
Exactly. You shouldn't. So, again, my guest, Kristen Alexander of Complete Balance. By I can say by KMA. I like that. Okay. So she's a wellness coach, you know. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
So much fun.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Till the next time.
Till the next time. You're always welcomed on Driven Women TV.
Oh.
You have so many things that you do, so I'm sure you'll have something else to share. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up. And again, on March 3rd, I hope to see you women, and more details will follow about our one-day Driven Women Retreat.
Yay.